The Lord is thy shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea! Though I Rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I can't fear no evil, for thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. When you prepare a table before I in the presence of our enemy, them when you anointed I head with no oil, me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy, I go follow I all the days of I even. Me I go dwell in the house of my Lord God Jah. MAUSOLEUM beer tana istalina ba shanti. Where twos and threes meet in the name of the Most High Jah. ADDO Jaja de. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain. Same way, if Jaja never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and then be saved. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks and I say unto your name, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. And Master Yahuda, and Master Augusto, Daniel, Komaya Sataya, Aimana Pio, Aya, Kedamawe, Grumabe. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, and my name Black Rasta. In every traditional African home there is a black pot, and each time this black pot rests on the fire, there is something sumptuous cooking. Today, we are responsible for your nutrition. We will give you the best in sumptuousness, and of course, in nutrition. What are you waiting for? This is the Black Pot where we speak truth to power. We normally would not criticize, but if we must criticize, we will. Only to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. It's all about our people, our continent, our land. This is the show you've been waiting for, and we are live on Pan-African TV. We are also live on Loud Silence TV, live on Ghana Web TV, and live on our own TV, the Black Empire TV. Now the good news is that via satellite, we are seen all across the continent of Africa and beyond. And this is the show you've been waiting for. We are masters in Pan-Africanism on TV. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Now, my brother, my sister, I want to begin with our issues. I call them issues. Now, the very first thing I want to look at is this: resign now, for poverty is a choice. Did you hear that? Resign now, for poverty is a choice. Who is asking us to resign? And who is telling us that poverty is a choice? This is the man. He's called Dr. Tobing. He's the owner of Tobinco Pharmacy. How many of us remember Tobinco Pharmacy? Now, Tobinco Pharmacy a few years back was almost grounded because it was alleged that Tobinco was importing narcotics into the country, especially cocaine, using pharmaceuticals to hide behind the narcotics trade. And it was all over in the media. But it came out that they were only importing some legal substance that was close to cocaine just to be used in making drugs. My brother, my sister, we all know cocaine, right? There's some amount of cocaine in cocaine and some other such products. So Tobinco came out and explained, and everything was blown away by the wind. That is the biggest memory you might have about Tobinco when it comes to controversies in Ghana. This is the boss of Tobinco. His name is Dr. Tobing. He also owns, a couple of radio stations here and there, some media houses. He's a very wealthy man. Now, recently, he also came out and said something. He said poverty is a choice. Whoever says he's poor is because he has chosen to be poor. It was quite controversial. Some people got angry. Some people also said, maybe you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Maybe you were blessed, especially in a country where we believe in the spirit and believe in religion. If God has blessed you, if God has given you some grace and you've been able to rise from poverty, don't say that it is a choice. But he's come out with another controversial thing. What is Dr. Tobin saying? Watch this on Ghana Web. It says, resign if your transportation to work is more than your salary. Watch me now. Hear me now. Chief Executive Officer of Tobinco Pharmaceuticals, Dr. Amo Tobing, has advised workers whose salary can only cover their transportation cost to resign as one option or request for an increment. And it's very controversial. People are talking about it all over the place. Watch this. According to him, not resigning or informing management to help address the matter can make the worker become untruthful at the workplace. If your transportation is more than your salary, you must tell your HR to talk to management to help. It's a must to consult management, else you will turn out to be a thief or a liar, he said. He added that never be in a position whereby you spend more than you receive. If you receive tips from your bosses, then obviously you can depend on those tips to cater for your transportation. But if your transportation is more than your salary, then it's either you ask for an increment or resign. Dr. Tobin was speaking at the Wisdom Summit 2022, organized by XYZ Broadcasting, to impart knowledge to patrons and the audience of the media company. Dash it away. Now, Dr. Tobin has spoken wisdom. For me, it makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. How do you spend more than you have? Then you'll be like the government of Nana Akufo-Addo and so many other governments in Africa. You can't spend what you don't have. Then you are ready to steal. Take what does not belong to you. That is correct. We live in a country where people pretend to be working and they are pretended to be paid. Remember when BBC, some years back, had this documentary where it said that Ghanaians pretend to work and their employers pretend to pay them because the salaries are so meager. And the work that, in fact, the employees give out is also so meagerly. So they pretend to work and employers pretend to pay them. My brother, now we believe in quantity rather than quality. Employ 600 people and pay them peanuts rather than employ a few number of people, let them work extra hard and pay them extra good. We like to have so many people employed and they pretend to work, do something small, something there, so that you go out and say you have employed 6 trillion people. Yet you are paying them the salaries of only 600 people. It might be an exaggeration, but the truth is that you cannot spend what you don't have unless you are ready to take what you don't have by stealing. How many people are paid so meagerly that sometimes they would have to walk long distances in order to catch a trotro, public transport that is closest to their workplace? They walk several miles in order to catch the next trotro, and it's not because the trotro is not in their area, but because they cannot afford. Some people also remain in the workplace not because they are earning enough, because transportation swallows everything, but because they have the chance to get tips. So you go into a company and people are turned into beggars. Go to some of these radio stations we have, TV stations we have. Almost everybody is a beggar. When an artist says the music to be played, they ask you to give them tips. And those tips are almost becoming by force. They are bribes. Oh, give me this amount of money, I'll help push your music for you, which is illegal. So we end up having trash or chaff on radio and TV. It's all about who can pay, not about talent and not about quality. My brother, my sister, how many of us have gone to look for employment, and upon entry, the people in there are already asking you for tips? So you know exactly what kind of company you are going into. True? So, right at the gate, you have an idea of what company you are going to work with. Very porous, not ready to respect the rights of the workers. They are paid poor. So almost every outfit in Ghana has people lazying about, looking at the calendar every single second to see when the month is going to end, so they can go for their salaries whilst looking for loopholes to steal. Dr. Tobin has said nothing but the truth. How can we solve this? He is saying resign. I don't think resignation is the answer. Well, he gave another option. Speak with the HR. Now, what they will do is they will kick you out and bring somebody who might even take lower than what you're taking right now. Because unemployment has become a crunching factor in this country. So what you are receiving now and you think you don't want it because it swallows all your salary, they will pick up somebody who lives closer to the workplace and pay him less than what they are paying you, for them to come and continue the routine, taking tips and stealing and bringing down the whole company. That is why productivity is low in this country. What is the solution? The solution is to make sure that before you employ anybody, you ask them where they live. Calculate how much it takes to move from the person's home to the workplace. How much will they pay in and out going there? The buses there, are they regular? That is the work of the HR. Now, if you are not ready to get to know where your employers live and where your employees live, especially where your employees live, then you are not a good HR manager. I understand that the employees might be so many that you might not be able to get to know everyone's home. But you have a company where employees are only 4. HR does not know where they live. The HR does not even know the area, let alone where they live specifically. My brother, my sister, you have to get to know. In the first year of work, you should be able to get to know everybody's home, especially if the number is not that huge, so that you can tell their challenges, you can see their strengths and all that. It's almost like the teachers in the past. When I started school, that was what it was. Teachers visited us at home to get to know the kind of homes we came from, interact with our parents, find out the environment, what it was like, so that when they were talking to us in class, they knew exactly what we're coming from, where we're coming from, right? But today, no, it doesn't happen. Modernity has swallowed all these wonderful responsibilities of teachers and employers. Tobinko has made sense. Dr. Amu Tobin has made a lot of sense, but he's going to get a lot of rancor from the people. Why? Because they will see him as a rich man and he's trying to bring standards that are unattainable. What do we do? The next thing we can do is to provide transport for every worker. You can't have your workers sleeping outside. Come to work with a good mind. Mens sano corpore sano is a Latin saying. That means a sound mind is in a sound body. If your body is not sound, you are sleeping outside. You sleep in a house where 6 million people live and make noise every second. You would come to work with an unsound mind. Do we have time to look at some of these things? Now, Dr. Tobin might just be talking about companies. But let's look at the broader picture. That's why I chose this thing. The government. The government must know where each and every member of the citizenry lives. Do we know that? Do we know that? Do we have the data that tells how many people live in what area and what area and what area? Do we know that? Do we have a data that can go, oh, Kwame Mensah IJ, okay, where does he live? Okay, he lives in Dansuman. Hey, house number this and that. Do we have that? No. No. In other countries, when people move an inch to another house, it's recorded and captured in the database. But we don't. They rear us in this country like animals. It doesn't matter where you live. They only get to know about us when floods come and we are floating like fishes dead. They say, oh, evacuate. We are evacuating them to blah, blah. It takes another 10 years to evacuate everybody. Right? How much is the government paying us? When we are sick, where do we go? Where we go, there are no beds. The doctors have gotten angry over the years and have relocated abroad. But when they are sick, they know where to go. Where do they go? Abroad. Hey, we can talk about this for another 20 hours. Tobin has spoken sense. But some people will look at it so topically. It's deeper than that meets the eye. My brother, my sister, let us look at it carefully. If you have a company, make sure that at least people eat lunch. That is if they work in the daytime. In the night, make sure that at least there is tea for your workers, so that those who are so hungry at least can sponge on that and eat something and get extra energy to serve you. When you have a company, make sure there's transportation, either in the form of tips, yes, tips, or you provide the transportation. Make sure they are all accommodated. They must have accommodation allowance. How much is their rent? I know it's difficult times, but it's better to employ a few people and treat them well and push them to work harder than employ a lot who contribute small because they fall sick every now and then because of the poor state they are in. It might be difficult for some people to understand, but that is the rare truth. My brother, my sister, hey, Dr. Amu Tobing, the boss of Tobinko Pharmacy, that's him there. He has spoken. I honestly would like to talk to his workers and see if he's practicing what he is preaching. Then I can give him the final applause. I've applauded him already, but the final applause is the heaviest. I will speak with some of them. What I know is that some people who are working with him, which is his company? He has this media, TV house, and I've forgotten the name. He has a tree name like that. And his workers are accommodated. I know Roman father works with him, and he was accommodated at the time that I visited him some time ago. That's it. Preach what you do. Walk the talk. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And on this note, follow me. Come. Next thing I'm interested in looking at. Kennedy Agyapong chased out by Asogli'S Togbe Afede the 14th. Oh, chased out. Why? What happened? Who is Kennedy Agyapong? He is an MP. Asin area there, that's him. Oh, that's him. Very controversial man. He speaks his mind. Sometimes he goes overboard like some of us do. He has a lot of lovers, and there are many more people who don't like him, just like us. He's a self-styled rich man. He says he's so rich he can employ almost everybody he's in confrontation with. He says some people cannot even shine his shoe. He's so rich. The last time we checked, he had about 52 children or so. This is the man from several women. He doesn't hide it. That as for him, in fact, if he would die at all, he would die on top of a woman. He likes women. 52 children. The last time I checked. My brother, my sister, he doesn't hide it. Hey, before you would find something to say about this man, he has said that about himself already. If it's about his big head, he tells you, hey, me, I know my head is big. So what are you going to say again? If it's about his big neck, he tells you, oh, I have an extra large neck. What else are you going to say about him? He's a very fiery MP, member of parliament. He claims he doesn't want to be a member of parliament. He's never lost any election. This is Kennedy Agyapong. Kennedy Agyapong at the same time has so many people coming to him, according to him, asking for goodies and tidbits, left, right, and center, and tips. He's a self-styled businessman who said he rose from rags to riches. He used to sell candies on the streets, PK and the rest. And then he went into some other businesses. And now he claims that he's one of the wealthiest people in Ghana, if not the wealthiest man. Kennedy Agyapong, my brother, my sister, has a TV station and a radio station. Anytime he wants to vent his spleen on people, he goes on his radio or on TV, and then he makes utterances, some of which become nauseous sometimes. Like some time ago, he came out and said that he knew who killed Ahmed Swale, a journalist. That he was the one who called for the beating of this journalist because he claimed the journalist was corrupt. Anybody who sees this journalist called Ahmed Swale, beat him up, beat him, hit his head. And if there's any problem, I will pay. A few days later, Ahmed Swale was gunned down in broad daylight. The MP was fingered as the major culprit, but he's still walking free. The law is an ass. In fact, not an asshole, but an ass. He's walking free. He has used unprintable words on the former president, John Dramani Mahama, calling him a thief, calling him a fool, an asshole, and all those damnable words you can find. In fact, but this is a man many people like. Recently, his partner in crime, Kweku Annan, who he would sit with on a program called The Seat on his TV station, was fired by him because he had insulted his opponent, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, who he's going to be in a race with for presidential candidacy of the party. Have I given enough background about this man? But hear me now. There was one journalist, the only time he got defeated, maybe, one journalist in Ghana called Kweku Baako, who took him to court, won the case, but this man has appealed and the matter is still lingering around. He claims that Kennedy Agyapong is empty. There's nothing in his head. He only makes noise for nothing. As if that was not enough. Another Ghanaian journalist abroad called Kevin Taylor also had Kennedy Agyapong take him to court in America. He was sued for defamation. But Kevin Taylor called his bluff and won the case after against the MP. So in a series of suits, Kennedy Agyapong seemed to be losing. So that tells you how much of a loose cannon he is. And because of his loose canonism, Jesus have mercy. Tell me now. He falls into trouble sometimes. Even the Parliament House invited him to come over and explain some utterances he made against the so-called August House. And he found himself laughing at the wrong side of his mouth. When I meet him, hi, we laugh, and he taps me and says, do you still smoke that your thing? We laugh, even though he's never seen me smoking anything. When we live in a prejudiced environment where everybody with this kind of locks or hairstyle is seen to be puffing and puffing out some smoke. My brother, my sister, let's get straight into business. Over the weekend, the Teza. It's a yam festival. Huge yam festival in the Asogli'S State. In the Volta region, to be specific. And the main overlord of the area is Togbe Afede the 14th. That's him. He's a wealthy guy. This guy here, very smart and very sharp. I had the opportunity to shake his hand and meet him once. And we promised to get closer. I hope it will happen. This is a great guy. If I need to start talking about this guy, we won't end this show. But let me give you an overview. This is the guy who owns Asogli power plant, providing Ghana with 25% of its power needs. This guy. The day he gets angry and shuts down his plant, a lot of Ghanaians will become cockroaches in the dark. Togbe Afede the 14th is the owner of the airline known as AWA, African World Airlines, that flies to Liberia and so many other different places. Recently, they said they were going to be flying all the way to the UK. He owns about 15 different planes when the whole country, Ghana, owns one. That's a private jet for the greedy president. Recently, he fought against ex gratia. What is ex gratia? Useless, cheap money that they give to politicians when they come out of a certain term or tenure of office. Heavier than the teachers' benefits after 40 years of also in the service. Togbe Afede was given that because he served on a certain board. And he said, I don't deserve it. Me, it was a part-time job, so don't pay me like a full-timer. Many were shocked in a country where everybody is corrupt. Everybody's mind is on corruption. Togbe Afede said, hey, I don't want that money. Close to 400,000 Ghana cedis. A few years away from 500,000 Ghana cedis. Convert that into dollars. My brother, my sister, he made a name. But they sent one of the backing dogs from their camp, what I will call the attack dogs, to keep backing at him and insulting him. And you know who I'm talking about. Paul Adomochri. He backed at him forgetting how much he had benefited from this man, from his wedding all the way to his school fees that he was not able to make allegedly in the law school, and so on and so forth. It's not to look down on him. We all have failed exams time and time again. He's a brilliant guy. But when you live in a country where they think that you can only be seen as a human being when you pass your exam, then that is where we have a trouble. But I was not happy. Paul Adum Otri stooped that low in the name of the paymaster to speak harshly about this man. We've talked about that already, so I'm not going to go into it. I want to believe he's a repentant guy. He doesn't look remorseful though. Togbe Afede is a self-styled businessman. So he's the head, the overlord, the king, the chief of the Asogli'S state. His people love him. He's not one of those chiefs that would have to sell land to make money. He can buy the whole of the Asogli'S state if he wants. But no, he's using it to benefit his people. Now the Yam Festival, they promised to invite me over, but they didn't, so I couldn't really make it. You know? Hear me now. So over the weekend, Agyapong went there. And when he went, what happened? He brought gifts, water and all that. Now when we are going to our chiefs, normally we would have to go with some schnapps and some other such things. I don't believe in schnapps. Water is better. So he took water and some other things. And when he got there, he was told that, no sir, we don't need any gift from you. Take away your gifts. And he asked, oh, why? But I was invited. So yes, you are invited. But no, we are not ready to take this. And your presence here actually is unsolicited. That's the word they used. Unsolicited. So please, with all respect, advise yourself. So his boys carried the water and everything, whilst Togbe Afede and his people sat down, and he walked away with an egg on his face, Agyapong. So sadly, I was so angry. Why do you invite a man to disgrace him like that? Why? I didn't like it. So I decided to call Togbe's right-hand man and find out exactly why Agyapong was invited. And you know what they said? In fact, Agyapong actually asked to be invited so that he will come over and also be part of the Yam Festival. Why? Agyapong wants to be the presidential candidate of the ruling party, NPP. He's announced that he will not run for MP anymore. He started going around campaigning. He can do that because he's not a government appointee. He's always turned down all appointments from governments. He says he's a businessman. He's focused. He likes his money more than posts. So you know what happened? He asked to be invited. And when Togbe was told this, he said, no, we do not want. In fact, his people knew already how Togbe was going to react. But out of respect for authority, they asked Togbe. Agyapong says he wants to come for the festival. What do we do? Should we send him an invitation? Togbe said no. He's not welcome here. As to what happened, miscommunication, somebody sent the invitation to Agyapong. And he arrived. And when he arrived, this was what he met. Because Togbe thought and felt that he had already said this man shouldn't be here. Why did he come there? But watch the headlines. See the headlines. You see? Why Togbe Afede rejected Agyapong's Yam Festival gifts. On Friday, September 9, 2022, it emerged that Togbe Afede, the 14th Agyapong of the Asogli'S state, rejected some gifts presented by Agyapong, MP, Asin Central, as part of his contribution to the people of the Asogli'S state who are celebrating the annual Yam Festival. And when you read the story, that's all that is about. When you read the story, that's what it's about. And that's it. That's all I talked about. Now, when I asked for explanation, Togbe's people told me that, Blakk Rasta, we are going to apologize to the MP. And they sent in a press release. Where is that press release? Look at it. Yes, look at the press release coming from the Asogli'S state. And watch it. It says Asogli'S State Council press statement. And when you read it, there's a lot in there. What is he talking about? He's saying that yes, the man was mistakenly invited after he asked to be invited. That's no fault of the MP. But look at the number of things they have stated from 2009 all the way down, and even earlier, things that the MP said about the Asogli people and also about Togbe Afede. From that, he would insist that Togbe Afede is taken out of the board of directors for NIB. How he was corrupt and how he was using his position to withdraw millions of Ghana cedis. And that he was not scared of the man, and so on and so forth, including other unprintable words he used on the people of the area and beyond. So they reminded him of all these things and said, you can't have a gross disrespect for the head, the overlord of the area, and say you are coming to celebrate with them when you have not apologized. Please, your presence here is unsolicited. And the MP walked away. In fact, the team of the MP denied that he was sent away. But it's now public knowledge that the MP was not welcome and was sent away. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more to tell you. I have a proverb for you. In fact, a statement. In fact, I have a saying. Yes, karma. You know what karma is? Some people say karma is a female dog. Some people say karma is something else. But karma never forgets. Watch out. Whoa! This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, where we speak truth to power. My name, Blakk Rasta. Thanks so much to our sponsors. We need you to also come on board so that you can sponsor this wonderful program. Listen, we are heard and watched all over Africa and beyond. Your business will do so well. When you speak the truth, you become an orphan, because the truth is an orphan in itself. Not many people want to associate with the truth, but the truth is good for the next generation and even for this generation and beyond. That is why you must be a sponsor on this show. Pick up our numbers on the screen. Give us a free WhatsApp call or send us a WhatsApp message. We are ready to work with you. Let us be that lifeline over your troubling, staggering business line. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Next thing we need to look at, away from all this, Nana ADDO to bury 5 more people at NKRUMAH Mausoleum. You know the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, right? Come along, let's talk about this. The Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum has only one person in there. And that person is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. That's him. That's the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum. So beautiful. People come all over the world to come and look at this wonderful thing. Recently, they decided to break the place down. They said it needed refurbishment and so many different things. Some of us were so much angered by that, as NKRUMAH is. I've said it time and again. NKRUMAH alone is enough to bring everybody to this great country, Ghana, on a pilgrimage. Pan-Africanist pilgrimage. Better still, Pan-African pilgrimage. Like people go to Mecca, some other people go to Israel. People can come to Ghana people who are Pan-Africanist minded. We can use Kwame Nkrumah for that. He's achieved a lot. He was a blessing to us. But wickedness, hatred, retribution will not let people make Ghanaians enjoy from this gift. So they broke it down, said they were refurbishing it. It will cost how many millions of Ghana cedis and dollars? But the mind of the people is that. Nana Akufo-Addo announced that the new Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum would have the other 5 people who purportedly supported the independence of this country. And together, they are known as the Big Six. They have realized that Ghanaians are not interested in their lie of a Big Six. The 6 people who fought for the independence of this country, there was only one big one, and that was Kwame Nkrumah. The rest were cowards. How could we call them contributors to the independence of this country when they told the Queen of England we were not ready for independence? How could you call them and make them part of our independence when they started throwing bombs trying to kill Nkrumah, who finally led us to independence? How could you call these villains people who contributed to our independence? So Ghanaians have seen the truth and are cutting away the so-called Big Six and now calling it a big one. First, they decided to remove Nkrumah's face from our currency. They thought they were done with him, but they forgot they couldn't remove him from our minds. Then they came back and decided to put in the books in the schools that he was a dictator. The people naturally fought against that. Now pushed towards the wall, they are fighting their last battle before they get out of power. The Nkrumah Mausoleum, that has so much respect worldwide, they want to bring the 5 villains and put their statues there alongside this wonderful golden statue. And who are those people? Pa Willie, the president's own father, Edward Akufo-Addo, who teamed up with other lawyers to free murderers. Murderers who killed a king. Murderers. My brother, my sister. So they want to bring Akwaje, bring Pa Willie, bring Edward Akufo-Addo, and all those people they claim were part of the independence fight. But the son of Nkrumah is not happy about that. He's called Sekou Nkrumah. That's him. Sekou Nkrumah lives in America. Recently, he had some issues with the American, people in terms of his residence and all that. But I think he's been able to scale that. This is Sekou Nkrumah. I've met him several times. He doesn't care speaking his mind. During the Atamil's administration, they chopped him off like a bad habit because of utterances. But he never ran away from speaking what his mind told him to speak. That's Sekou Nkrumah. Sekou Nkrumah says what? From his home in America. Look at the headline. Why this mischief at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum? Sekou fights for Dad's legacy. Son of Ghana's first president, Sekou Nkrumah has questioned the scope of a recent announcement relative to rehabilitation works at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, the final resting place of his father. And when you read the story, what is the story saying? He specifically cited a part of the upgrade that allows for a freedom way aimed at bringing to bear the contribution of the other 5 compatriots of the Osagifo in Ghana's fight for independence. Dash it away. Now, people like Kwesi Pratt have talked about this. I have also talked about this over and over. The politics of graves. On this same show, the Black Pot, several times. Now we have the JB Dankwa circle. They call it the Dankwa circle. Do you bring the other Big Six there? That's in his honor. You want to honor him, you have honored him. Akwaje overpass used to be Sankara circle. You changed it, removed it as if you couldn't find other places to honor Akwaje. Remove Sankara's name from this so shamelessly. And then you put Akwaje there, saying that charity begins at home. You put Akwaje there. Have you gone to put Nkrumah there? Is Edward Akufo-Addo there? When Nana Akufo-Addo came, what did he do? He also made a circle for his father at the American embassy there. His father's statue is also standing there. If nobody would honor my father, I will honor him. Did they put Nkrumah there? Is Pa Willie there? Is JB Dankwa there? It's to honor one man. That's it. We have enough places we can put all these people. Now, Nkrumah Mausoleum is so respected across the world. They want to force their villain uncles and fathers into this nonsense. You see how wicked they are? Very wicked people. Demonic dwarfs. Nkrumah has made a name. It's like in the days when Mirror, the national newspaper called Mirror from Graphic, was selling a lot of people liked it. And people didn't want to buy Times because they felt Times was so verbose, and they gave some other reasons for not being able to buy Times. You know what they did? They did conditional sales. They tried to use Mirror to promote Times. So if you went to buy Mirror, they will not sell Mirror to you alone. They must add Times to it. By force, you have to buy that. Nobody sold Mirror at a time in Ghana. Today, Mirror is there. Nobody's buying. Everything is online. So Nkrumah is the Mirror now. They want their fathers who failed, their grandfathers and uncles who failed, to have their reflection in this great mirror. What in recent times we say they want take shine. Nkrumah and shine, they want take some. Wicked people. When we return, I have more for you. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shonomo, where we speak truth to power. Hey! Wayo!
My name is Waris, but all of you know me as Comedian Waris. I come from a home where cleanliness is not only next to godliness, but a must. We seldom fell ill, and we saved our doctor this headache. At an early age, my mother introduced us to our best gift ever, PJ's Acid Cleaner. PJ's Acid Cleaner kills 99% of all germs and keeps your WCs, marbles, tiles, and concrete floors sparkling new and clean. In fact, you don't need any extra muscle when it comes to PJ's Acid Cleaner. It has all the muscle. When my fiancée, Mamiya, first visited me, I almost lost her. She didn't believe I was single, lived alone, and without a house help. Yet my house had this great fragrance and was always clean. I had to reveal my secret, PJ's Acid Cleaner, my family's greatest gift.
For bulk purchases, please call 0244 624 526 or 0262 233 243.
Am I a sumo?
Yes, Mama Rade.
And you may a king cancer, no. You have my sister Paulina and a day after.
You may a king cancer, no. You better free. Abus chapter.
Hey, babe. Sister Paulina, we're reading glasses here, China, Hebrews.
Hey, Madam.
kwani. Tina tet hayan herbal capsule. A drawing tina berwati semi. Me ready a mention glasses. Obroni besi see clear.
Hey, no crow. Tina tet hayan herbal capsules. A full supplement for good vision and not recommended for children below 12 years, asthmatic patients, pregnant and breastfeeding mothers.
A drawing baby atwa. Got tina tet herbal shop. Hey, now wait. Tina tet hayan. See clear.
Luxury home, it's a beauty place for every woman. We do braids, wave caps, weave-ons, nails, pedicure, manicure, waxing, massages. We do everything concerning beauty. So if any lady is thinking about beauty, I believe this is the right place for you to be. We do nail training here, we do braids training, we do wave caps installation, we do waxing. I mean, anything that we do, the services that we render here, we also train people. So if you want to be a master in nails, if you want to be a professional nail technician, this is the right place for you to be. We will train you and make sure you are a professional, not just any nail tech. At Check Luxury Beauty Home, we train you to be your own boss. We have international trainers who train you to fit in anywhere in the world. We have our one-man training, and we also have 2 weeks. It's between 2 weeks to 1 month, depending on the individual. Whatever you want, we give it to you. At Check Luxury Beauty Home, we give you quality yet affordable. So come and get trained and be your own boss.
First of all, is a Jamaican. Yes, I'm a Jamaican. I was born in a little parish, a beautiful little parish called Clarendon, outside of Kingston. Everybody knows Kingston, but Clarendon is where I come from. I am a singer, I am an author, I am a songwriter, I am a poetess, and I am an actress. Right? I do the whole, I've been doing this for many, many years. And so basically that's who I am. I'm anything art, everything art, that's me. You think art and you think Diana. Yeah. I do reggae music, I do inspirational music, I do cultural music, I do gospel, if you call it gospel. You know, I just do uplifting, clean music. Even the 12-year-old can listen to it. You know, or the adult, if you feel like you need some motivation or so. The kind of music I do will really, you know, motivate you, and that's basically what I do, reggae predominantly. Okay, so the inspiration behind Bed of Roses is this. I actually, you know, bad to bad, as we say in Jamaica, there's that little stigma that has always been going on that, you know, most men are not good men, and you don't really have good men, especially like if they're poor and they can't take care of you. Women have 2 hands and 2 feet too, so you're not crippled, you know. You don't necessarily need somebody to take care of you. What you need is a man with a good heart who loves you and who will work to use it with you so you can build an empire. So Bed of Roses is really in the defense of men, and so also to really rewrite the narrative that if a man is poor, he can't take care and that is not good. It's not good for you, which is a lie. You understand? So there are lots of men out there who don't have a lot of money, but they are good and upright men. They just want someone to work with them and someone to motivate them. And so that song was really, to celebrate good men who don't necessarily have a lot of money.
Nice little ranch down a Ochi. Only for veggie where we plant, me not go hungry. Come and say, Lord, she am moving away pantry. Give me a firm foundation when no Sunday.
Bed of Roses is available to the public on our platform called 16 Bars Multimedia. So on the website it will be the 16BARS M as in Mary, M as in Mary.com. So that is 16barsmm.com. Definitely. I'm available for live performances any day of the week. So you can contact me on, first of all, you can reach out to me on my Instagram as Empress Diana, and my Diana has 2 N's. So that's Empress, which is DIANNA. So that's Empress Diana, that's my IG. And also you can send me a link or something on our YouTube. Our YouTube is the same name of our website, 16 Bars Multimedia. We have lots of work there. You can reach us there, and also you can reach us at 16barsmm@outlook.com. So that is 16. This time it's the word all spelled out. 16barsmm@outlook.com. And if you choose, when you go on our website, which is the same 16barsmm.com, you can go to the contact page and send us a message. You understand? And usually we respond within a couple of hours. All right. So that's basically it. And I'm sure at the end of this, you will have a number somewhere to contact us. All right. So that's it. That's what I do. And keep the music locked. Yes, I bless.
Nice little ranch down a Ochi. Only for veggie where we plant, me not go hungry. Come and say, Lord, she am moving away pantry. Give me a firm foundation when no Sunday.
Sorry. Oh, Doc. Yes, and you walk, Doc. I want to know your thing. Who knows why she have said, "Do turn your man?" No, say the young kukru. So your stomach was said the young. Had been so as I become. And then cry. Meaning said if you be forcing I don't know.
Test results naturally say when you malaria on the moji.
3D.
Yes, malaria. Nani yem no so we no here. Tinatet tomac and a tinatet malake. Famano nano ho betono.
Malake, anything at a tumac. I'm on my free.
Tinatet malake, eyama obi a wanya malaria fever. Ena tinatet tomac mixture, eyama obi a wanya indigestion. Yenhwehwemu so wanya malaria and sana wafa edrui. Not recommended for children below 12 years. Pregnant or lactating mothers should consult a doctor.
Skip a judge. Blackpot, Coco show.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. The next thing I want to look at, and I want to say thank you so much to all our sponsors. We appreciate you and we love you. Next thing, I'm taking you all the way to Ashaiman. There's a concept they call Ashaiman to the world, but it looks like it's becoming Ashaiman to the Thieves concept. Come along. It was initiated by my own mentee, Stoneboy. Ashaiman to the world. That's what it's called. Festival. And that's Stoneboy. And it has thousands, tens of thousands of people attending. It's a free show. Look at it. And people come. Ashaiman is one of the ghettos we have in Accra. Another one is Nima. And people have it in their minds that these areas are full of riffraffs. So because of that, not many people go to that area or those areas. But we love those areas because we come from there. We are ghetto people. We love our people. We want to be able to change the mindset of the people. I'm sure that's why Stonebwoy put up the concert there, apart from the fact that he grew up from there into the world. But the very first time he had this, or the second time he had it, some people attacked his tent, and according to him, there was somebody who thrusted a knife into the side of his wife, and blood started oozing. But he was just about to get on stage. For that matter, he couldn't go with his wife to the hospital, but he still came on stage, performed. It was one of the biggest crowds we had for that festival. So the wife was taken away for treatment. Thankfully, she recovered, and I think she was brought back to the show to watch Stonebwoy complete his set. Many people said, made a lot of complaints left, right, and center about the Ashaiman show. If you could attack a VIP person like that, then you could just attack anybody. But Stonebwoy continued to have Ashaiman to the World concert there. And the last one was had only last week. KKD has spoken. That's him. Fashionista. Wonderful man. Recently he's been in the news. He's taking a low profile now. For about 2 weeks now. He's not talking. But he started speaking again. What did he say? Watch it. KKD narrates how Ashaiman robbers took away his dollars and phones. Broadcaster Kwesi Chedakwa, known chiefly as KKD, in an interview on Onua TV with Captain Smart, shared his experience with notorious Ashaiman robbers who one time took away valuable items from his car. And this is the whole story. When you read it, what is he saying? He went to Ashaiman, and people came in and broke into his car and stole so many different things, including his mobile phone and dollars. Now, the police issued a statement after the Ashaiman to the World Festival, hosted by Stonebwoy Berniton, that they arrested 42 suspected armed robbers, according to Ghana Web. But when this is specific, 42 suspected armed robbers. This should go into the Guinness Book of Records, that in one event, 42 suspected armed robbers were arrested. Not even in Jamaica, that is seen to be the rowdiest and crime-prone areas in the world. 42. That's in the second paragraph. In a statement by the Ghana Police Service, they disclosed that a total of 42 suspected armed robbers were arrested at the Ashaiman concert for various offenses. But when you read what the police released, it didn't say armed robbers. They only said 42 suspects. But Ghana Web says 42 suspected armed robbers. That is very specific. But the police report or statement said 42 suspects. Suspects could be pickpockets. It could be people just hovering around and then they had their eyes on something and police suspected them. Not necessarily armed. But whatever it is, it tells you the intensity. 42 on one night. Some people were knifed. Some people were beaten. Some are in the hospital. Just to cap it, that Ashaiman is still rowdy. But there is a lady that I used to work with at Multimedia, Saliman. That's her. You know, she was called Sally Frimpong. She got married to Mr. Man, and she's now called Saliman. She said something that we need to look at. What did she say? You left injured fans, flew to Nigeria to promote your song. Saliman slams Stonebwoy. Media personality Sally Frimpong Man has called out dancehall musician Stonebwoy for selfishly ignoring his fans who suffered various forms of injuries in his recently held Ashaiman to the World concert. When you read the story, it says a lot of things. My brother, my sister, she is saying that Stonebwoy should have postponed this whole thing so that another time he could go, even if he had booked it and people were expecting him. they would understand that this was what happened. But he selfishly left. She might be right. If I were the one, I would postpone it, no matter what, to go and pay some of these people a visit. Now, there are so many calls for the concert or the festival to be moved to another venue. And in this statement, Saliman says even the name of the park is very bad, called Sakasaka. And Sakasaka is a millipede, or is it a centipede? I think in our language we call both of them the same thing, Sakasaka. Why do you call a place Sakasaka? Well, that I don't agree. In fact, I come from Tamale. I was born and bred in Tamale. Yes. And we have Sakasaka School. There's an area called Sakasaka. Sakasaka Primary School. If in your language Sakasaka means something bad, in my language it doesn't. And there's not only one language in Ghana. Kwesi Pratt went to school at Sakasaka and he's watching me right now. Sakasaka Primary School in Tamale. It's a beautiful name. In some other languages, Sakasaka could mean confusion, almost like Chaka Chaka in Ghana and in Jamaican patois. Chaka Chaka. And she also said if it was Shatawale, he would have postponed every movement. If there's anybody more selfish than Shatawale, I don't think it's Stoneboy. That's my opinion too. A guy who can claim that he has diamond necklaces all over him, and yet his supporters are those in the ghetto who are sick and suffering. They are those who patronize those shows. Who comes to Shatawale shows if not those people? Nima, Ashaiman, and the rest. They are those who pay and come and fill the place and make noise. So if there's anybody you support, it's them. Says, oh, I bought them a car. I bought my fans' car. Be the only artist will buy car. Give my fans. Yeah, I bring Shaxi. Hey, Shaxi, where is it? Well, that was a good thing. I was one of the people who congratulated him. Go on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter. But it was short-lived. It never happened. But to even have that mind is positive. But you boast about your riches more than you help the people who are supporting you. The people who are making you, you. You don't support them as much as you boast that you are rich. If you were not boasting, you would have said that, well, maybe you don't have it yet. But you are boasting. You have this diamond, gold. Hey, meanwhile, your core fans are those in there. But some people who have no brains do not understand the point Blakk Rasta is making. There's something we call social responsibility. You are saying that the fans are not doing Shatawale a favor because they enjoy their music. That's it. When we go to buy Ideal milk, I don't drink Ideal milk. I'm vegetarian. But when you buy Ideal milk, you are enjoying the Ideal milk. Why would you still look forward to an Ideal milk producer social responsibility of building a hospital or a toilet? It's the goodwill. You understand? British Airways, recently, the Ghanaian government took British Airways on. No social responsibility over a period of 35 years. Some people say, oh, you feel so entitled. It's a social responsibility. It's a privilege, yet at the same time, it almost becomes a right. Do you see the wisdom in it? So I don't agree with that part where it says Stoneboy, if it was Shatawale. Shatawale is a make-believe man, a pretender. He's a liar. And that is the truth. They prefer to go for interviews and throw one Ghana city to the people. They will rush over it and go away, and then they go and wear diamond chain, $1 trillion and boast. What kind of hypocrisy is that? Dash it away. Next thing I want to look at quickly is this. Watch it. ZOOMLION, not my friend, but business partner. I'm going to spend only 1 minute on this. That's what Nana Akufo-Addo is saying. Look at the headlines. Quick, fast. Watch the headlines. Nana Akufo-Addo says, hey, as for him, ZOOMLION is not his friend. Oh. It's his business partner. And that he realized that ZOOMLION is doing so well and helping the economy, so he's pushing him. Before this man came into power, he said ZOOMLION was corrupt and bad, and that when he gets into power, he would make sure he deals with ZOOMLION's Jospon, blah, 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 blah. But he came, he's a great guy, wonderful guy. We'll leave him to you. Several allegations of corruption and thievery from ZOOMLION. Nanado says he's helping the economy, so it's okay. They have become friends. When Mahama could not chase out Jospon, And people saw so many things to be corrupt with Jospon. Nana Akufo-Addo said, when you vote me to power, I'll deal with the situation. He has come and, in fact, elongated the contract periods, and he's now saying that they are not friends, but they are business partners. This is Jospon. See how he lost his father. So Nana Akufo-Addo, at 97 or so, his father lived older than the Queen of England. That's good. Congratulations. You know, my brother, hear me now. Nana Akufo-Addo went there, and at the funeral, that was what he said. Maybe to have people say, hey. Dash it away. Last thing I want to look at. This is the last one, right? Another 1 minute there, and I'm done. What is he saying? Manasseh runs to OWUSU BEMPAH in tears for forgiveness. Who is Manasseh? That's him. He came on social media, insulted Reverend OWUSU BEMPAH, so many allegations and all that. And boom. Now, he came to Ghana only last week, and he ran to the prophet of the nation, who has also said that Nana Akufo-Addo is a bad president, and he has disowned him, to beg for forgiveness. What's the story saying? Look at the story. He has complained that, in fact, if this man forgives him, he's okay. He said he was led into doing it by a couple in Italy who promised him a visa to Italy and to help him with his immigration and all that. Hey, his immigration woes to be supported and resolved by a couple in Italy. Therefore, they asked him, another man of God, to insult Reverend OWUSU BEMPAH. Today, I wanted to go deeper into it. There's a video of it, him crying and begging in church and all that. But I don't have the right to say that I don't see any remorse in it. I don't see any remorse. When you listen to him and you read the story, it says he told himself that if he is able to get his papers, he will come down and beg OWUSU BEMPAH. That's if. So if you don't get it, what happens? You won't. But again, he said he went on social media to beg OWUSU BEMPAH because OWUSU BEMPAH cursed him. Why I brought this story? There are so many people in the media called the attack dogs of the party who malign wonderful people, all because of what they will get from the ruling government and other politicians. We live in a country where the truth doesn't exist anymore. It's all about what somebody can give you so you can attack other people. I leave it here. My name is Blakk Rasta. Come along. I appreciate you and I love you for coming along. Thank you so much. Catch me again tomorrow between 1. I beg your pardon. Yes, catch me again and let's do it again between 4 and 5 p.m. on Pan-African TV. And we are also on yes, and we are also on YouTube, our YouTube, Blakk Empire TV, live from 5 p.m. every day. I want to appreciate you. I love you. I thank you. This is it. Wayo!